Alright, so today I'll be installing a Android double DIN touchscreen navigation, DVD, everything else head unit into my Mark 6 or 2011 Volkswagen GTI. So you can see here's the unit itself. It's all touchscreen, and we'll just turn it over. And there's the back of it. It's actually quite a small head unit, and it fits perfect into the Volkswagen. And there are all of our ports. So, and here's all of our connecting harnesses that we'll require. There is the unit will connect directly to the OEM plug, along with the CAN bus decoder and the main power harness. There's one USB there. There's a second USB. There's our auto video harness input, and there's the matching antenna. And it does have the adapter for the Volkswagens that will go to the standard male output. There's our GPS, and depending on what kind of radio you have, your factory radio, you may need a second harness, which I don't need. All I will need is this main one. Now the tools required to do this install, which will be fairly easy, is a panel removing tools. So these plastic pieces here. You can also use a flathead screwdriver if you don't have these ones. Just make sure they use a rag or a towel or something to avoid scratching your dash. Nut driver or a drill, and a Torx 20 adapter for the 4 screws that are holding the radio in. So again, this is the unit. This was sent to me by Seicane, if I'm saying that correctly, Seicane. And then I will post all their information up on the description box, links to their website, to this specific unit, and everything else. So we'll take all this into the Volkswagen and we'll get started with the install. Alright, so now we're in the car. As you can see, there's the factory radio. So to get started, we're going to remove this trim piece here. So that's what you need the panel popper for. So there's one clip here, a couple here. So the first time you do it, it might seem like you're gonna break it, but you just have to be careful to get this out. So I'm gonna grab this one and just pop it in the corner there. Maybe move it along here. Should be able to get the first one. There's the first one there, you can see. And you just have to work yourself around. There's another one there. There should be one here. So sometimes there goes the other one. This one's gonna be a little bit tricky, but there it goes. So if you've never done this before or taking yours out, then it might feel like you're gonna break it, but just be careful. So there's another one. Work the bottom piece out. There's another one. Should be one in the middle here. Actually, before I do that, if you have an SD card on your factory one, you want to remove it now. Let's get that out of the way. There it goes. Should be one that's left. There you go. So you can see there's all your clips. Make sure you get them all off. If there's any of these metal ones that came off for whatever reason, make sure you take them off and put them back on here. So we'll set this off to the side. Another thing. Now we're going to take these 4 Torx screws out. So again, you can use a drill. I'm going to use this little extension with a 1/4 inch to this Torx 20 here. So we'll get these ones off. Make sure not to lose them. I'll put them in the cup holder here. Alright, so to remove the harnesses, just pull your radio forward. That's our main harness here. So what you would do with that one is at the very bottom of the clip there, you gotta press up. So you can see up there, you gotta press up on it. And then, or sorry, you gotta press down, and then this lever will release, and you gotta go up like that and releases the main harness. So mine only has the AM FM, and it has the series radio. To get this one soft, there's a little tab at the top. You press that down and you release it. Then for this one, it's actually at the bottom of it, so you gotta press up on that one and release it. And those are the only ones that this radio has. Again, depending on your factory, those are the harnesses you'll need to remove, but you gotta remove everything. All right, now that we got the radio out, before we continue, we have to remove these two top vents here. The reason for that is because we want to get the GPS puck. You want to get it under the dash and above here. That's one way of doing it. Another one, if depends how you want to do it, is you can run the GPS antenna or the cable is here, and then run the antenna up over your dash. If you want to, I don't know, maybe put it outside on your roof. It all depends on that. I want to do it here inside the dash where nobody can see it, so I need to remove this vent. Now to remove the vent, there's another two Torx 20 screws here that you gotta remove. We'll remove those, and then we'll remove the vents. All right, so I've got the vent out. It was kind of hard to get it out, so right now I just have it sitting up there because I don't want to remove the plug for the hazard lights. So it was kind of hard to get it out. So when you do yours, you basically, I'll just kind of show you here. So you have to, when you pull it out, your best bet is there's two small holes here. You want to get your fingers in there with the vents open, not closed, and just, you know, give it some pull. You can also do is go around with your panel popper and kind of get some leverage around the sides, just enough to pull it out. Again, it was really hard to do it, so I didn't want to do it on video because it was a pain. But you just gotta get in there, push it as far as you can, and pull. And when you first pull it out, you're gonna pull it towards up. Now watch for these clips here. Mine came off. I put mine back on now, but mine originally came off. And actually, I have them on backwards. They should be on like this. That's how they should be. So it should be, instead of these flaps sticking out, they should be. Get this one off now. It should be on like this. So mine fell off when I took mine off. So make sure you put them back on, as well as the top. You can show you from there, but from the top, there's these other metal clips. This one's here. One of them came off, so I'll make sure to replace it before I put everything back. So you know, even the plug was kind of hard to get that off, so I'm gonna leave it as is, and just going to slide this up here. It should stay up there. If you just pull the little bit off there, you can see it. It'll come off there. So that we can leave that to the side. Now, try to show you here. I'm not sure if you'll be able to see, but if you look on the inside there, I want to get my GPS puck up and over here. That'll be no metal above it. You don't want any metal above it, or else it will not get reception. So I'll be able to fit it through there, and there's a couple openings here through the middle here. Should be able to route my cable through here and get the GPS antenna up there. So that's the first thing I will actually be putting on there, and then we'll continue on. All right, so now we got the GPS antenna here. Just follow the cable here, and as you can see it's right there. Put in the middle of almost both vents. Now I use some silicone. I'll show you which one I use. Which I used in the past before is this Alex Plus, basically all-purpose silicone sealant, whatnot. I just use that to make sure the puck doesn't, because that one doesn't sit snug. So I put it on there to make sure that it's not sliding all over the place. So they should be good. I let it dry for a good 10 minutes. So the next thing we're gonna do is route this cable up through the side there. Get this camera to focus because of the darkness or the light. So I'm not sure if you can see it through there, but there. The reason being is the vent will come up and all the way back here to this. So it's gonna cover all this and all this here. So you don't want to put it over that, and then your vent is not gonna sit properly. So again, do it through the side. Okay, and what I did is I fed mine through this bottom piece here, and it'll come out to where you want it. But again, just make sure that you're gonna fit your wire up and around, so it's not gonna interfere with the vent. So now that we've done the GPS puck, we got the cable over here now. So that'll be one thing to do. I'll start connecting the main harnesses and whatnot, and we'll go from there. Alright, so now I've got the GPS antenna all connected. I put the vents back. So to put it back, just gotta slide it back in, make sure that the holes line up, put your 2 screws back, make sure it's nice and tight. Of course, double check, make sure you didn't anything come undloose, but you shouldn't. And we're good to go. Of course, my hazards still work. So now when I start working on plugging in all the wire harnesses on the radio itself. So there's my GPS antenna connection. I left a little bit of slack on it, so if I need to cut the radio, got some slack, it's not going to be too tight. This is the factory series radio, which I won't be using because I won't be plugging that in. So with that, we can set off to the side. This is our factory antennas, which we'll be using, and of course our main harness here. So we'll start with the antenna. So we gotta grab our antenna adapter here, which would be this one here, with the universal male end, and then the Volkswagen one here. It also includes the blue wire, which I won't be using. Normally it'll be, I believe, for a power antenna. I could be wrong, but I won't be using it. So what I did when I tested it out, I just went on to the one with the clip on it. That should be your FM, which I did test out and it works. So when I go in there, plug that in, make sure it clicks into place. So it can only go one way, so that's on there. So we'll put that off to the side here. I'm gonna plug everything first, and then I'll grab the actual radio and plug everything into the back. So we got our main harness there, and then I will show you what everything goes to the back. So again, mine is plug and play. I don't have nothing else. So it'll be the main harness with the extra little box, which is your canvas. So when I grab that here, and we got this locking device here. So you wanna, instead of down, you wanna push it back, because it will have to go into these 2 tabs right here on the sides. So this little thing here will have to grab it onto here for it to lock into place. It can only be done one way, so we gotta push that in like so. Make sure it's as far as back as we can. Then grab this, pull it forward, and as you can hear, it click into place. It's not gonna come off. That's our main harness there. This one, of course, will go to the actual radio itself. Then you have an extra couple of RCAs here, which are for the auxiliary inputs. These ones here. So you need to run our headphone to RCA jacks here. You can do that. Then this one will also go to the back of the radio itself. CAN bus, we can just leave it as is. So after I'm done all this, I'll zip tie everything so it's nice and clean. We'll also need to plug, I'm gonna plug everything even though I might not have all the accessories for it. This one is the camera input here, and you have the little connector that will go to the back of the radio. We got our 2 USBs, which we'll put it once that we have the radio. And then we got the final one, which is your audio video inputs here. It has another auxiliary line in, and it has the videos as well as what is it here, a video out. So this one here you can use if you use headrests or a rear DVD monitor. If you play videos or music off your USBs and whatnot, you can use that one. So that one will go straight to a radio as well. So here is the unit, as I've showed you before. I want to flip it right straight back. So just keep in mind this is the top. So if you flip it right over without turning it over, there's our GPS, as we mentioned before, our antenna, our main power harness, which will be this one coming off the main plug, our antenna, of course, our GPS that will screw on here, and then here we have the different plugs for the different connections here. So we'll start with each one. Let me get them all ready to go, and we'll start doing that. All right, so now that we got the connections here on the inside the dash, we're gonna come over to the deck itself, and we're gonna do the connections you see here. So with it, the way it is here, the orientation here, basically backwards, just go by where the main control panel will be, which is from the main harness. So the first port up top, this is where you're gonna plug in the one that's labeled brake. So to have the video input, a pink and a white wire. So these 3 ones will go top left. bottom one will stay empty. Then the middle one here, or the second one from the left on the top, is one of your USB ports. That one will be a 6-pin, so it'll be 6 pins, and you're only going to that one. You won't fit into anything else other than that one. The one next to it will be your next USB port. It's usually will be a 4-pin little connector, and it'll be the only one that's small enough to fit in there. Nothing else will fit on that one. The last one, or the top right, will be that one right there, and that one is the one that connects straight from the main wire harness with the canvas and everything. That one, again, that one will only fit into this one. That will fit right on there. For the bottom two, there's two larger ones. The one on the bottom left, which is unused, and then the bottom right, which is the one with all your video and audio output, as well as your antenna turn on, which will be this little black one here, and it'll have the video output as well. So you have that, and of course you get your antenna, and you get your GPS, which will be screwing on. So that's how you make these connections. I will post the links to everything, because it does show you pictures of everything's connected and what everything does. So most of these wires I will not be using, again, because it's just a basic install. So these two I will not be using. Video, input I won't be using. None of this I will be using. Basically, I'm gonna try the USBs, because I have a thumb drive here with videos on it, and I have this little other one here, an adapter with a mini SD card with all my MP3. So those two I will be using, as you can see here. So anyways, I got everything hooked up here. I'm gonna put everything, connect all the wires and whatnot, reconnect my negative on my battery, and just put the deck on there. I'm gonna test it out, make sure everything's working, and then we continue on. Okay, so now we got the radio here, the new kit. Of course, again, as I mentioned, I made all the connections in the back here, and this is what's nice about it, because it's so small. You can actually be able to move around, make all your connections quite easy. It's not heavy, it's not bulky or anything. So again, I won't be using any of these RCAs yet. I will look into the future getting a front and a backup camera to use those, but for that timing, I'm not going to use them. Neither is this other input here. So the ones I am using is one of the USBs. I'm going to use the one with the smaller connections for my MP3s, and then I'll use the one, the middle one here, the larger one, for my music videos. I'm going to test that out. So now that it's all done here, I'm gonna plug in the antenna. So there's your antenna there. Again, I won't be using the blue one, so that will just leave out there. We'll plug this one in, which is the small one, which we mentioned before, that will go up into this port here. Make sure it clicks into place. That's there now. So again, the only one left open is that one there. Then the last thing we need to do is plug in the main harness for the main power and whatnot. So I already went and plugged in my my negative cable on the car. So let's give this a whirl and plug it in. That one will only plug one way, clip to the bottom. Okay, that's plugged in. I'm gonna just stop this in here. Oh, sorry, let me do the GPS antenna here. As you can see, it's already powering on, but let me get the antenna, GPS antenna on here before anything else. And it's okay, you can do finger tight. Don't over tighten it. You don't want to strip anything or screw anything up with your GPS. So again, we'll just do finger tight. So you can see it's already booting up since I plugged it in. Just gonna throw all this in here for now. You can see how it will all fit. And there's the unit up and running. So again, the beauty thing about it is because you have plenty of space behind the radio, because it takes a lot less space. So let's throw that on there. It should fit dead on perfect. And there we are. We got it all up and hooked up now. Let me just do this over, try to get less glare on there if I can. So there it is. So let me move the camera over so we can get a better view of this. One step that I should mention, which I almost forgot about, is because that one, as you can see, it's all put back together now, has built-in Bluetooth. Then likely we'll have to unplug the factory Bluetooth under the passenger seat for it to work properly. I've heard that going aftermarket and unplugging this doesn't allow the new one to work. So to get at it, push your passenger seat all the way back, grab it firmly from the bottom here, and pull on it. It's just velcroed on there basically, like so. You got the Bluetooth module there, as you can see. You gotta press down on this little tab here, this black one, and pull the white one up or forward, and you should be able to unplug. If I can get it with the other hand, go to unplug. There you go, the factory Bluetooth module. So I'll put this harness back, put this one right back under the seat, and we'll start. We'll finish up the unit here, and then continue on. Alright, so now we got everything done. There's the unit on again. I put the trim piece back on. So it should come on just as we removed it. So you just be careful on the edge because it is like basically dead on. So you might have to do one side, then slide it to the top or to the bottom, and then it should fit the way it does. So you can see there it fits perfectly, no issues for the fitment of this unit. Looks like it belongs there from factory. So yeah, so let's just do a quick music demo here. So again, this is all my MP3s here. So that's the music there. Of course, you can do videos as well. So if you go to the video player, you can pick whatever videos you have, whether it's just music videos or movies and whatnot. But there you go. That's it's up and running. So far it's working great. No issue with it. Everything works. Climate controls show up as they normally would. Steering wheel controls are working just fine. So yeah, so I'll do another video in the next couple of days as a review of it. But that's how I installed this Seicane, if I'm saying that correctly, head unit, double DIN, Android based. Any questions, comments, let me know.